Hello and welcome everyone. This is Type V3 with a review of a tiny yellow robot. And no, it's not Transformers Bumblebee. This is D-Art's Metabee, the Beetle-type Metabot from the anime of the same name. When I said this figure was tiny, I wasn't joking. Metabee barely reaches 4 inches in height. Still, his squared-off limbs and chunky proportions give him an aggressive charm, very akin to a small dog with a big bark. Due to the original design, there isn't much in the way of molded in details or surface textures, but what's here is both sharp and crisp. As for paint, the majority of the figure is covered in a mustard yellow infused with a heavy gold flake. This combination is great because it gives the body the vibrancy of the original color while keeping the illusion of a metal frame. The white sections contain an extra glossy finish, and the barrels and horns have a wonderful gunmetal coat to them. Metabee's head sculpt looks fantastic, especially the eyes. There's a transparent green lens that sits in front of the robot's face, and that's what gives the eyes their depth. Of course, 2 other faces are included, the first of which is the aggressive or combat-ready expression. The other is the eyes closed face, which is really only meant for display when the Kabuto medal is removed from his back. The medal itself isn't very special, and it's probably safer to keep this accessory in the box because its size makes it extremely easy to lose. Also, if you want something a little creepier, you can have Metabee displayed with no face at all. The first thing you notice about Metabee is his heft, and that's because he has die-cast feet, die-cast knee joints, as well as die-cast elbow joints, and that makes him extremely well balanced when you're posing him, and it gives him that weighty feel. Posability, of course, is fantastic. Ball-jointed head, ball-jointed stem shoulders with a swivel here at the shoulder pad and a second swivel for the actual shoulder joint. There's a elbow joint, ball-jointed wrists, torso crunches really well. This cod piece can move out of the way for the hips that are on a ball joint and a swivel, double-jointed knees, ankle ball joint as well as coming out for extra range, and there's a working toe joint there as well. Of course, these things can move how you like for posing, and you saw that this flap opens up for the metal, and it's kind of hard to get at, but it works. The only thing that I think he's missing is here on the missile launchers. They don't really do anything except spin, but I kind of wish they had some sort of motion. But apart from that, Metabee is pretty fantastic. The other thing he can do is you can easily swap out his limbs. And the only reason you'd want to do that is because if you have any other Metabots, you can do the whole gimmick of switching out different armaments and whatnot. Even the head can come off quite simply. Unfortunately, the only other D-Arts Metabot out there is Rokusho, and I don't have him, so I can't really demonstrate the gimmick. But as you can see, it's fairly simple to do. So yeah, like just as a recap, this posability and construction is fantastic. It is really top-notch stuff, especially when you consider just how small this figure is. And up to this point, the D-Arts line hasn't really impressed me too much, but if I see more figures like this, I mean, I gotta say, it's pretty fantastic, and I'm very impressed. Metabee doesn't come with a whole lot in terms of accessories. You get a pair of open palms to replace his fists, and some effect parts. Muzzle flashes can be equipped on either the revolver or the submachine gun. They're small, but I like their simplicity. Also included is the larger effect part that simulates a barrage of bullets. They're neat and can be arranged in any position you deem, though I think these could have benefited from some extra paint apps just to liven up the look. Apart from that, that's everything in the box. So what exactly do we have here with this D-Arts release? Well, Metabee is a small figure, fairly accessory light, and doesn't really have a standout feature or gimmick. On the other hand, the figure's construction is hugely impressive. The articulation is top notch, especially when you consider the size, and he's just plain awesome to look at. Bandai approached this toy with the sole intention of producing a solid action figure, and that's exactly what D-Arts Metabee is. While extra accessories like missile effect parts would have been nice, I can't fault the core figure in any way. This is also a very versatile release. It's equally at home on your desk as a playable toy or as a display piece with high-end collectibles. Of all the D-Arts releases, Metabee is easily one of the best, if not the best. If you've always wanted a Metabots figure or just enjoy really well done toys, then this is something worth looking into. However, I should note that at the time of this recording, D-Arts Metabee can only be found on the secondary market and at a far more expensive price than his original MSRP. Still, if you can find one for a good deal, I definitely suggest jumping on it. Anyways, this has been Type V3. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see D-Arts continue with more Metabots figures in the future. Actually, as long as we just get a War Bandit figure, I'll be completely satisfied.